To this point, everything was pretty much normal. We've been using a gin pole to haul up the tower sections. Like I say, it's 55 feet, and this is the top section. But due to a lack of experience or whatever, I didn't know how I was going to get that 20-foot piece of Roan quarter-inch wall masting in there. So I pre-assembled the rotor right there on the plate. Those are the guy anchors. I didn't want to leave the Philly strand out here in the weather, but I plan on pre-attaching that and having it hang down in hoops as this goes up. Here's the, you can see the, the mast section. And it has a thrust bearing. I just used a muffler clamp to make like an extra load point so it wouldn't all be carried on the rotor. This is the boom to mast clamp for the TH11. This little tape marks the position for the truss wires to attach. So we'll know where that goes. And I already kind of did the compass pointing, and the tape on this particular tower leg tells me that that leg goes into the front leg of this tower. And then when the antenna is attached, it'll be pointing close enough to north that I can true it up with the rotor. So what happened to my plan? Well, the plan was that a crane service would come out. They gave me a quote, $400, haul this top section up and put the antenna on. And they came out. Turned out the crane could not get back here. The ground was too soft, and now I'm stalled. One of the difficult things about this particular antenna, unlike, for example, a TH6, is that the middle here, where the mast attaches, is not clear. In other words, it's not clear of obstructions. The matching tubes for the log periodic elements goes across the top, and so it's difficult to see how we could haul this thing up. My thinking was we could haul it up by the truss wire. If need be, run a temporary wire through the truss loop and down to the antenna so it'll all come up about the same. Attach the boom to mast bracket, and then person that had more nerve than me could stand on the top of the tower to attach the boom to the mast and the truss wires. Then I have to attach down below here, I have an antenna switch, and the 15 or 20 feet of feed cord from the antenna will come down the tower, attached to the box. One loop will go over here to where I'm going to have a dipole coming off, and then the rest of the antenna mounted down. At the point of the job I'm considering for the climber, the finished job will involve getting the tower section up. It's Roan 45, incidentally, and the feed line to the junction box. And then I'll be able to handle the rest of the coax run and stuff of that nature. So that's what we're talking about. It would probably not be undoable this way, assuming a person had a gin pole strong enough and to haul this whole thing up assembled. Otherwise, I'm at your mercy and experience to know how we might go about this. Some of the weight up here at the top, although I was reluctant to cut the mast for the future of maybe putting another antenna up a little higher on there, like maybe a 6-meter beam or something like that, we could in fact cut off about 5 feet of this. This 20-foot weighs about 80 pounds, as I recall. So we could take off maybe 20 pounds of that if we sawed the mast to shape. So that's the project as it stands, and I'm looking for a quote to finish, and suggestions, you know, on what I might do before arrival of a qualified person to get it ready. Like, does the mast have to come out? Do I need to cut the mast? Blah, blah, woof, woof. So now I think you know as much as I do, and we could at least discuss it based on these pictures.